had a sold out event and it was great. So
That's
yeah.
awesome. All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. So Monica, if you could pick an adjective that best describes you, what would it be and why?
Sexy, because that's who I
You do. I have to say, I am openly gay man, but I do have to say that you are beautiful on so many levels, not only in the inside, but you exude sex, but in such a classy way. With just your sensuality, the way you speak, the way you present yourself, your hair. Look at that hair flip that you got going on. You wear the best high heels that I've ever seen anybody wear. I used to get a kick out of, I mean, I still, we follow each other, and I get a kick out of when you post about your high heels, and and you give, I feel like, do you give them names?
I don't. I do write poems though,
You write
based on a
poems, that's right.
designer. Based on a designer.
Okay,
So
no. It's like I love it. I love it because you bring out like a new perspective on how to look at things, right? You know what I mean? And sometimes people think that sex can be something that we don't talk
you
about.
froze there?
Oh, oh, there we go. We got it back. But yeah,
Back.
sometimes, right? Sometimes people think that sex is something that we shouldn't talk about, that that's taboo, and then it's not easy table talk. But hello, how did we all get here? It should be easy table talk.
It definitely should be. So, I mean, I don't understand why we're still in that, realm of it's taboo. It
Hmm.
shouldn't be taboo. I mean, sex is beautiful, right? Especially when it's done in a safe space.
Yeah,
So,
that's
I just
awesome. So Monica, so did you start school during the pandemic, or is that something you had already been started before?
no, I had started about 4 years ago, actually.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So in the midst of, like, even when I met you, you were like ongoing.
Right.
Okay.
So, I just I was taking, like, depending on the workload, it was that was the situated with work and school because I had a heavy load.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No. You definitely, I mean, I always say, so I mess with the girls at work because I always say, there's so much that women can do all in one
Mhm.
sitting. They're literally, they could be working, they could be listening to 5 conversations that are going on and be thinking about what they're gonna cook for dinner and do this and do that. And I say, like, that's a skill that I wish I had. And maybe some men have it, but I definitely don't.
I think most men don't.
Uh-huh. Right?
Majority.
Exactly. No, I totally agree. It's like we get overwhelmed just with, like, if we, it's like you could see like that we have a short fuse sometimes when it's like too much going on, maybe at work or at home, like too many demands or something, and it's like easy, like, oh, leave me alone. But then a woman literally is carrying the job, the kids, the career, the schooling, the all these different things. So mad props to you. And
Thank you.
so I know that you, like I said, you're a wife, you're a mother, and you probably decided to go back to school a little bit later, I guess, because you said that you it was in the recent 4 years that you've been working at it. Um,
Mhm.
what would you say to other women and other people that just they maybe didn't go to college right after high school?
It's never too late to go back
Mm-hmm.
and achieve your dreams. I mean,
Exactly.
I'm living proof. So I'm it was something I wanted to do, and I was determined. And at the time my son was 16, and he was like, hey lady, listen, be selfish, do what you wanted to always do.
That's
And I was like, what
awesome.
are you talking about? And he's like, go back to school, you said you wanted your degree, go get it, mom.
Exactly.
And I'm graduating with him. Like, I have two of my sons who are graduating, and then it's me. So one of my sons is getting his master's, and my youngest, who sent me back to school, right? He sent me back to school. He is getting his associates. So we're gonna have a house
Wow.
full of graduates.
That's right. Okay. The Martinez's don't play.
Yes, yes.
They get in their educations. Yes.
Education on point.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Well, mad props to you and your household and your family and your kids. You know, because I mean, it's super important. It's the one thing that nobody can ever take away from you is your mind and everything that you put into this mind, right? You know, so it's
Absolutely.
super important, super important. So, just for anybody that's joining, I'm gonna like refresh a little bit, and so I'm just gonna read a little bit of the snippet. So, Monica, mad props to you with this press packet. I was like, you better work, okay? I was like, she is official. I mean, you've always been official, but this is now you getting there. You get to that next level because your pictures and how to contact you. So if anybody has not seen it, you can go to my page. I shared it. You can also click on Monica's page because she has you know, her bio right there too. But I'm just gonna read a little bit about Monica. Monica is a Latina who was born and raised in Jamaica, Queens. During her childhood, she decided to express all of her painful experiences through poetry, not knowing that her young passion was going to lead into a successful future, right? In 2004, Miss Martinez opened up an adult novelty line entitled Tantalizing Productions, Inc., a company that distributes adult toys as well as hosts adult parties, where she also counsels couples on how to keep the love and spice alive in their relationship. That is awesome. That is awesome because you know what? Look, and I'm speaking to everybody up in here. You know, everybody could use a little spice. You know, people, you know, they say that once people get married, sometimes that the spice goes out the door. You know, a few years go by, the honeymoon phase is over. Monica, you know, maybe give us a little bit of advice on some of the things that you counsel on, or that you the advice that you give people on how to keep the spice alive?
So you touch base right there, like life just gets busy, right? And then we tend to be so involved in those other things that we forget that we need intimacy with each other
Hmm.
because everything becomes so redundant and just in and out, same routine, same routine. So what I like to tell everybody is that you really should schedule date nights and never try to lose that because you guys need time in order just to have that connection and to have that like intimacy period. So I used to when we were um, pre-COVID. I used to book little getaways with my husband, and sometimes we would just go right into Manhattan and pretend we were like tourists and, do that kind of thing. And always pack a nice, sexy outfit because, just got to surprise him some days just with a trench coat. So it's just really reconnecting and understanding that you guys need that time,
Hmm.
and that it has to happen. And a lot of people say, well, I can't find a babysitter. If you can lean on your sisters, your brother, siblings, your family, period, hire like one of the neighbors' children that obviously well enough to come and babysit. And just even if it's like just a dinner date, just to have that connection. Like, don't get lost in all of this, busy world because you still have to make time for one another.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. It's about not forgetting how everything began. That intimacy, and intimacy, right, can be so much more than just sex, because people think automatically
Absolutely.
just that. I mean, I love the suggestion that you said. Hey, look, just a little fun rendezvous date night. You know, where you get creative, and it's just getting outside of the rut, the routine, because people can get consumed by that, and then the mind can play tricks on you, obviously, where you're just like, okay, this is just the way life is. But no, it doesn't have to be that way, you
Never has
know.
to be that way.
Exactly.
Never. I'm with my husband, what, 22 years, and can I just tell you that he still brings me flowers?
Awesome. See, I don't
You
get
know,
flowers. I'm telling my Felicia, I don't get flowers.
it's just
But
like
that's
the little,
beautiful.
it's the little things. And some days, sometimes he'll just come home with a random gift. I mean, it could be anything. He knows me so well these days, right? So it could be perfume. it could be the most silliest thing. He could come home with a Twix candy bar. And I think that, like, wow, you're still thinking of me after like all these years. Like, I think that's pretty amazing. And men should, definitely keep that, and women too. Like, I don't, there's not a day that goes by that like I don't say something sexy to him,
Exactly.
So.
No, I love it. I love it. That's super important. And thank you to your husband for keeping that alive, because I know that that adds to the beauty of who you are each and every day. You know what I mean? So that's important.
Mhm.
Um, so um, I wanted to ask if the person you are professionally um, meshes with the person that you are creatively, and do those two worlds come together at all?
So interesting that you asked. Absolutely, those two worlds merge for me. So
Gotcha.
they have to merge because this is who I am. And it took me, I want to say, a pretty long time to be that woman because, as you read in the bio, I was sexually repressed. And for a very long time, my husband brought this woman out of me that I was like, whoa, where did that come from? And I accepted that. I accepted this whole sexiness and just this sultrous. I absolutely mesh the both worlds, and my writing reflects it, obviously. Where, a lot of my sex poetry could be based on real life, allegedly.
That's awesome though. Okay, all right. Well, we're here for it. You know what I mean? Um, and I think it just makes people more comfortable. You know what I mean? Because I think sometimes it's about visibility and just listening and seeing, and it's like, wow, like okay, and if you don't put it out there, you will never realize how many more people actually can relate to you, right?
Absolutely.
And relate to what you're saying. So just to kind of like touch on what the Community Lit Spotlight Project is about, that's kind of like the essence of it too. I think
Mhm.
it's about putting stuff out there for people to see, because through your story, through through everyone's story, I think there's so much that other people can learn. And sometimes it's just an escape too, from the everyday world. Obviously, we're going through a pandemic. People need an escape. But even in everyday life, even if things were normal, who knows if somebody's just sitting down, on the couch, and they just happen to scroll and be like, "Wow, like look at this. Check out this conversation. I'm learning
Mhm.
something new." And then they get wind of you. They maybe didn't know who you were. And it's like to increase your fan base, but also to increase people's awareness of like, hey, look, this is real stuff that's going on in the world. Y'all need to know.
Absolutely. And we're here to educate you all, like, on
Exactly.
aspect. And I feel like there is a story because obviously I am the story.
Amen.
I've been through so much,
Mhm.
and to be here and be this woman, I'm actually really proud of this woman. And
Yes.
yeah, so
Yes. Snap, snap, snaps. Yes.
snap,
Well, we're all
snap.
proud of you, Monica. Definitely. So give us a little synopsis of some of the stuff that you do with Tantalizing Productions.
So Tantalizing Productions is a little widely based, I want to say, because I do so much. So aside from just the sex toys, tantalizingproductions.com, which every toy was picked by me and my husband, by the way.
Yeah.
So you got great reviews on those because we gave you them. And I do the Tantalizing Angels where we do the poetry. I also get back to the community because I'm a domestic violence survivor. So I get back to that. I host workshops for domestic violence women, shelters. Um, I work with Latinos NYC. I put on my Latinos NYC hat, and what we do is we do fundraising and collections for the children. So there's a lot to Monica, and people only, see the sex portion of me, but they don't know all of me. And they're
Exactly.
just right. There's so many different not monikers, so to speak. I'm one person, but there's so many different roles that, I dive into.
Exactly. Well, I'm so happy that you touched on that because that's also another aspect of what this project is about, which is to draw out. Sometimes people just see the personality, the character, but they don't know that there's so much more to that person behind the scenes. That there's so much passion on activism. There's a story behind, you know, them that drove them to actually engage in certain projects that they're currently engaged in. So I'm happy that you touched on that. So you do a lot for domestic violence because you actually yourself were a
Was a
victim, and thank you.
survivor.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for sharing that. And then Latinos NYC because you represent a Latina woman, a girl like me. Hello. That's right. So proud to definitely showcase um, the Latinx community, people of color, and Latina women. You know what I mean? Who they are strong. Let me tell you, there's nothing like a Latina woman. You know what I mean? Definitely, is the Latina women is what raised strong boys like this.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So where would you say that that the deep drive within you comes from? Like, what motivates you to wake up every day?
Um, just knowing that I can do so much more and I can give so much more of me, whether it be to my children, to my husband, to my friends, my family, um, that just drives me because I'm not ready to just sit back and lay down and just be like, all right, whatever, it's what. No, I'm out here and I'm ready to come back. I was telling a girlfriend of mine, it's like, I've been on the hiatus, but the Monica Sex Martinez is coming back. I'm coming back, and we
That's
coming
right.
back with vengeance. So,
Yes. I'm
I
so
just
happy to hear that.
a drive to be just better every day. So,
Exactly. So if I could, that's a good segue. Um, what are some of the visions that you have for future projects, or what's coming down the pipe, maybe for 2021 or in the future?
so what's coming down for the pipeline right now is we're working on our monthly showcase, obviously, of our open mic, bigger events for the artist seduction. So we're gonna definitely expand. I tippy-toed around it, and I was doing it before I went on my hiatus, which was we were expanding into different cities. We're gonna make that a possibility now. So I'm gonna push everything I got in me, and I'm gonna get everywhere. We're gonna be
Amen.
everywhere.
Yes,
So that's what's
exactly.
coming down the pipelines. And I heard allegedly a poetry book.
Oh snap, she ready. So you are, oh, I actually noticed that your email says author dot Monica, right? And I was like, uh-oh, something's coming down the pipe. Okay, so it's in the works, almost finished.
No, I'm an author of 5 books already.
Okay. So
I've
we gotta,
never
yeah.
written my poetry book though.
Wow. So wait a minute. You see, so this is maybe something that either, we totally missed at the first interview, but I want you to tell people, so you're author already of 5 books. And
Correct.
those books are based on what?
So 3 of the books are short stories, sex, right? One of the short stories, which is Twisted Cherry is a segue into my novel, which is Seasonal Husband.
Hmm.
So Seasonal Husband is as close to my story as I could really get, and when I say story, my real life story, as close as I could get without someone coming after me and trying to sue me for defamation of character.
Hmm.
So there is some exaggeration within the book, but the majority of my book, I want to say, is really close to home.
Okay.
And it's close to home for a lot of women who've ever experienced domestic violence on any level. So let me just warn everyone, because they say seasonal husband, they're like, oh my God, I need one of those. Yeah, no, you don't. No, you don't, sweetheart.
It ain't what you think.
Exactly. And I released Divorce Chronicles after that. And Divorce Chronicles was basically similar to the way I healed myself through my domestic violence situation. And I created quotes, and then it's a journal basically. So the quotes are there for the women to go ahead and journal their emotions.
Oh, it's awesome.
That's Divorce Chronicles, and like I said, allegedly a poetry book might be in the work.
All right. All right. Well, we're here for it. I'm signing up. Hello. Definitely, I love it that, I mean, I think everything great draws from real experience, in my opinion, right? Obviously. And so, the fact that you're sharing and that, and like you said, you mentioned healing, and it's part of the healing process too. The fact that you can talk about it, it shows how strong you are too, because I know it's not always easy. It could
No.
be trauma, and it could trigger certain things, but you got this girl. She's moving forward.
Yeah.
Yes, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. All right. So good. So good. This next question, what have been some of your biggest life lessons and why?
So let's see. One of my biggest life lessons was probably my son.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
My oldest. No matter how hard you work, you know, um, drilling your children and wanting them to be this person you see them to be,
Mm-hmm.
they will choose their own path.
I
And
know.
sometimes it's never the path you want
Mm.
them to choose. So he has been my biggest life lesson, and he's also been my biggest joy as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, him.
Oh, right. Oh, let me tell you, I think that is so real. I think so many mothers and so many parents in general, they have, even me, I don't have any kids. I already have a preconceived notion of what I want for my kids one day, right? And it's
Mhm.
unfortunate because I know that they may not live up to that at all. you know, and it's crazy because because I mean, I know it comes out of love and protection and wanting to protect your kids and want the best for them. But yes, it's true. It's a human that you created that is totally gonna live their own life. Isn't that
Yeah,
crazy?
it's so crazy and scary too
Very
sometimes.
scary. Oh man, but thank you for sharing, because I think that so many people can relate to that. um that is raw. I really, that spoke to me, because I think so many people can relate to that. So if there's any parents watching, be more mindful of your children's, uh I guess, own person, because it's hard to see sometimes, right? You may, obviously you can guide them, but at some point it's hard because you gotta like let them go, and they're gonna take that path, and all you can do is be there, hopefully, to pick up the pieces and help and support and love, right? So no, thank you, Monica, thank you for sharing that. um all right, girl, so she ready. And so Monica, so I see that you definitely use your life to inspire others. um is there, so like through your Tantalizing Productions, but your poetry and your books that you have coming down, um like what do you envision people getting out of that?
I, I feel like women will benefit as far as embracing their sexuality
Hmm.
and not feeling ashamed to embrace that.
Yeah.
Um, I think that men can learn lots of lessons from
Uh-huh.
reading. Take the time out and read, because there are a lot of lessons that men can learn in a sense of women and how we operate and how we are. I mean, we will give you the world if you make us feel like super safe. There's nothing on the table that we would turn away,
Yeah.
a good percentage of the time. So I think that if men took out the time to read, they would learn a lot more about us.
Yes. So y'all heard that, boys. Y'all need to read. Y'all need to learn. Y'all need to listen. Um, because there's a lot of lessons to be learned, definitely in the art of intimacy and loving. It's not just bing, bang, boom, just get it, that's it. No, you know what I mean? There's so much more. And remember, there's a person at the other end of that intimacy, with feelings and with the life and with the past, with the present, and the future. So definitely. So thank you, because and even I think in our relationships, we need to revisit like what it is to just to learn and to kind of like, you know, communicate and spice it up in certain ways. And sometimes they may be, I loved what you said in the beginning about how your husband, maybe he'll bring you flowers one day, maybe he'll bring you a Kit Kat. Kit Kat actually happens to be my favorite candy. Too. So I think I would love that. Like if that just came out of the blue, you know what I mean? Yeah. Let me see. I think some people know you. We got Raul Rios in the house. That's my sister Monica. Hey, big little sis. I got my auntie. I got my friends Ashleen from Camden. Yes. Let me Leila. Raul, yeah, he's here.
Raul is the owner of Latinos NYC.
What? Okay, so wait, tell me a little bit about Latinos NYC and how you're involved with that.
So Latino NYC is an organization, a nonprofit organization, where we give back to the community, whether it is to feed homeless people, collect the toys for, the children of ACS, also coat drives. So meet up with Raul. You
I
definitely need
know.
to meet up with him.
Yeah. I'm writing it down now.
Yes, he's doing wonderful things for the community. He is also, I believe, a manager at the New York Poets Cafe.
Okay.
So definitely you want to link up with him. He's good people aside from being my brother.
Okay. All right. Awesome. I'm gonna put that down. Yeah, because that I have a big involvement with a Latino group at work, and it's called LOUD, Latinos Outreach and Understanding Division. So I could always pitch it to them, be like, yo, there's so much great work happening in NYC. Like you guys maybe can collaborate. You know what I mean? If you guys are already doing like a drive of some sort, maybe we can, chip in. So that would be great. Raul, shout out, yo. I'm gonna reach out to you.
Awesome sauce.
Awesome. You see, this is what it's about. It's about networking sometimes and putting stuff out there, because without talking, we won't know what else the connection is, right? So yeah, so Monica, if anybody wanted to follow you, support what you're currently doing, what are all the ways that they can definitely support Monica S. Martinez and all your tantalizing things that you're doing?
So I'm on all social media under Monica S. Martinez. Instagram would be Monica_sex_Martinez. The Artist Seduction, because that's the big showcase we host. And my email's on my press kit if people want to look to book me, or for events, if you need me to write something for your loved one for a birthday, I can do that, because I used to do poetry. I used to do private parties, and I would be the poet for the birthday gift
That
type
is
thing.
awesome. So like the way some people, so like for example, like I know a lot of drag queens who they have like on social media, they're like, oh, book me for like a shout out, a birthday, I'll sing happy birthday, but you can actually write like a love note, or you could assist with like the process of like, hey, look, maybe even for Valentine's, right? Let's just be cliche a little bit. You don't know what to write in that card. You don't know how to spice it up. You don't know what to do, but you can easily visit Tantalizing Productions. You get a hand-picked toy from Monica. You get a handwritten message. Maybe, even if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can even have Monica speak it, and she can deliver that video message, because we living in the digital age, right? And there's so many different things that people can do. I genuinely from the bottom of my heart, want people to support Monica S. Martinez and all the great work that she is doing. Monica, I wish you nothing but love, happiness, sex, and success.
Yeah, that sex and success.
Because, you are a strong woman that's been through so much, and you still have 100+ years ahead of you because your legacy is going to live on, right?
That's right. Absolutely.
Yes, yes, yes. And Monica, before we go, any closing words, any closing remarks, anything else you wanted to share with anyone?
Yeah, absolutely. I want everyone to remember that Monica S. Martinez is all about keeping that smile on your face and sending you home with happy comings. So make sure you
Yes! I remember those shirts. I think I still have my tank top that said Happy Coming.
happy comings.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, awesome, awesome. So if y'all want to discover a new version of yourself for the new year, definitely support Monica S. Martinez. She is awesome. One more time, Monica, your website, because through there, everybody can kind of like go to everything else, right?
Yes. So they can go to monicasmartinez.com, tantalizingproductions.com, Monica S. Martinez blog. So, a couple of different places. They can find me on Amazon, even on YouTube. I have a little album out, so 13 tracks. So they could go find me on YouTube. I'm pretty much Googleable, right?
Okay,
So
yes.
you can find
Just
me
if,
anywhere.
when in doubt, Google, yes.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
beautiful. Oh, Monica, well, thank you so much. Many
Well,
blessings to you
thank
and your
you.
family and everything that you're doing. And until we meet again in person and I get to hug you and kiss you. Yes?
Yeah.
All right. Well, God bless. And thank you everyone for watching. And definitely in the comments, you can find more information on how to reach out to Monica. Okay. Bye everyone. Thank you, Monica.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Happy coming.
Yeah, happy comings.